Welcome back to KC Talks EV, and yes, it's finally time to do the British Motor Show 2022. Now, it is actually my first time going to the British Motor Show, but it is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, by the time that you see this video, it would have been over, but definitely there will be tickets available at some point for 2023. So I will highly recommend that you take a look at this video to see what's on. Alongside a lot of the stuff which I've got, so just a general showcase of the show, I actually managed to secure 3 interviews with, first of all, Snows Kia, looking at the new Niro EV. I also had a look at this quirky little electric van from JLC Group. And then finally, I also had a real detailed look at the brand new Subaru Solterra, which I think is coming out to dealers very, very soon. So I do hope you enjoy this. By the way, just before we start, make sure you do like this video, and if you're not already, make sure that you are subscribed. It really does help me out. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so I'm here at the British Motor Show 2022. So I'm here with Jack at Snows Kia. So would you like to talk about the Kia E-Niro, so the new one?
Absolutely, yeah, thank you. So this is our all-new Kia Niro EV we're sitting in right now. We've had the Niro range out for about 5 years now. We're available in hybrid, plug-in hybrid and full electric. And this is generally the overall facelift that we've now come out for. It's been out for a couple of months now. And a lot of this car is absolutely brilliant. It's been taken out from our EV6, which is our big SUV, yes, EV6, yeah. And it's sharing a lot of the same characteristics from that car. You get the same style steering wheel, the same dual display, the same layout here as well. You get a lot more cabin space because you haven't got a big drive line running through the bottom of the car now. But overall, it's just it's a much nicer place to be than previously. Yeah.
Excellent. So, are there any other sort of changes? I mean, for example, what's the battery capacity? Well,
you've got a 64.8 kilowatt battery. So essentially, underneath it's the same as the previous model, but there's been a few tweaks here and there to make the range improved, to make the space improved on the car as well. But generally, we have used the same platform on the outgoing Niro. That's allowed us to produce these much quicker because we haven't got a new platform to produce. And people know what they get with these cars now. They've been around for a few years. We've got a lot of our customers in these cars, and they love them. So Kia have taken the stance on this particular model. They haven't needed to reinvent the wheel on this model. It's pretty much just an improved version of what you've got.
Well, I do notice that, talking about reinventing the wheel, the new steering wheel looks quite interesting.
Yeah. What do you think? You like it?
Yeah, I do quite like it. I mean, because I sat in a Kia E-Niro, I think about a couple months ago for the British Motor Museum EV Festival.
Cool.
And I did notice that all of this is completely different now compared to the previous outgoing model.
Massively.
And it really is a really nice place to be. I mean, you got a bit more piano black, so it's a bit, okay, fair enough, it's gloss black, so you do have to be a bit careful with it, yeah. But most certainly it really is a lot, it's really nice and it's a bit more upmarket.
It is, yeah, it is, and I'm sure you're going to show the shots, but the main one here is you've got a 2-in-1 dial, which you've got the infotainment section, and when you press the fan icon, it then turns into the aircon. So it's a 2-in-1 bar, so to speak, and that's now the same on our EV6 and the Sportage. And what it does, it just basically minimises a lot of the clutter that was previously here.
Yeah.
And you've got so much more space now to put your phone, put anything there, your keys, wallet, whatever. But it's just decluttered, it looks simple, and it does work really well. So.
And you know what, I do actually appreciate that, because the one thing I hate on sort of newer, especially newer cars, both petrol and electric, is the fact that you have to go through all the menus to go through the climate control system, yeah. Whereas actually down here, although it is still capacitive buttons and things, it is a lot nicer, and that means you can get a bit more muscle memory and things.
Yeah.
I quite like the idea of just changing it without taking my eyes off the road, and I think you can just about do it with this.
Yeah, you can, and what a lot of people have mentioned already is how you do have to sort of concentrate on switching back between the two. If you want to then change the aircon quickly and then you want to go back to your map, then you can actually do a thing which I can show you in a second. You can change it, so after 5 seconds the car will switch back to the infotainment section or the climate section, whatever you choose.
Oh wow,
so
yeah.
If you press that, you wait wait 5 seconds, and then you can focus back on the road, and then that's going to switch back to what you had it on before. So you haven't got to worry about keep changing that.
Exactly.
So.
But the best thing is I don't have to go through that screen, and then you know I'm probably taking my eyes off the road for 10 seconds by the time I've changed my heated seats or something.
Absolutely.
But excellent. I mean, definitely a nice little refresh, most certainly. And when are customers going to be expecting to see the E-Niro and test drives and things like that?
Well, this car is our test drive car now here at Snows Kia. So all of our 3 sites have a test drive available on this vehicle, and lead times are very reasonable at the minute on this car. So, which is another topic that we won't go into.
We won't go into too much. Yeah. I mean, at this point, you can make promises, but frankly speaking, I mean, but most certainly you can test drive it now.
You can test drive it now. All of our Snows Kia sites. Be more than happy. We'd love to see you all.
Excellent. So, thank you so much, Jack.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Cheers.
Thank you. So I'm here with JLC Group, so I'm here with Simon. Would you care to explain, obviously, what JLC Group does?
Yeah, JLC is an engineering company. We do an awful lot of work at airports, seaports, where we supply various pieces of equipment to the airlines, to ground handling companies, to the airports itself. And that varies from blast doors to sliding doors to automatic doors. We also do power supply to the aircraft. Because of all our connections with the various airports throughout the country, a natural progression was actually to go to electric vehicles.
Okay.
You may well know that airside at airports now, a lot of the companies now are moving to electric vehicles for a number of reasons: low emissions, the noise factor, and so we got in at an early stage with the smaller electric vans. So we have a range of vans. This one is the Orca. We have 2 others which we can use at airports, which have been very successful, but there are only airport applications. Anywhere you need a small van, you can use ours from JLC.
That's excellent. So, would you care to talk a little bit more about what we're in particular? So this is the Orca?
This is the Orca, which comes in from China. It has a 1,000 kilogram payload. It has a range of 125 miles. You normally use it throughout the day and then simply charge it at night time. Most people tend to think that they always say, yes, the range is very important. When you actually speak to people, they realise they don't need such a big range as they first think. And it's interesting to note that the average van driver, and we're not talking about Amazon drivers or that like, but the average van driver would only do about 45 to 50 miles range or need in the day. So this is suitable. You drive it through the day, charge it overnight, and off you go again in the morning.
We were kind of talking earlier about some of the more niche applications, but I guess this is actually what it's most important for. I mean, for example, we're actually in a customs car right now, aren't we? So,
we are, yes.
What kind of specification was it built towards? And
this was actually just an absolutely standard unit. Okay. So it has a box on the back, which has rear doors, sliding panel at the side, and this is used on a university campus. We have another customer that converts the back. We sell it as a flatbed without the box, and then he converts that into a sandwich van, so he goes around to the offices and what have you. Any type of van that you need, this can be converted to. So this is the cab, the rear, whatever you want. We have done one which was a refrigerated unit.
Okay.
We have another one which is a cage for rubbish collection, and our latest customer actually wants a tailgate put on there, so we'll arrange that and sort that out as well, and that will all be based on this vehicle.
So, and I think that demonstrates especially actually how modular this vehicle can be and what you can actually spec it towards, because for example, I mean, going back to the university thing, I used to look at all these little tiny super carry vans, which must be absolutely awful on the engine, driving half a mile, start the engine, drive, and then, whereas with an electric powertrain, you don't get that. Not to mention, again, you get the cost savings. As you mentioned before, all you have to do overnight is just charge it up.
That's right. And what a lot of people don't always immediately think of is that with an electric vehicle, you've got a very simple motor and batteries. That's all it is basically. Mm-hmm. So people say, right, what about an MOT? Yes, you have an MOT every 3 years. Does it need to be serviced? Well, we would recommend you check it once a year just to be absolutely safe about the brakes, of course. Mm-hmm. But there's so little to go wrong in comparison with a combustion engine. So there's a massive saving there. If it goes in for a service, that's considerably cheaper. So it wins all round.
Exactly.
And it's nice and quiet on the campus or wherever it may be. Not this vehicle so much, but certainly the other ones are much narrower, and the little MEV we have is really a funky looking vehicle, and a lot of people like it simply because they can put what advertising they want on the side. It immediately gets noticed by people.
Exactly. So, excellent. So thank you so much, Simon. I'm going to put a link in the description below for JLC Group as well. So, excellent. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So I'm here with James, who's from West Heath Garage in Farnborough. I'm actually now in the Subaru Solterra. So would you care to talk a bit more about the car?
Sure, this car is a car we borrowed from Subaru. It is the first one in the country and the first opportunity really for the public to get to see it at large. This model is the high-spec touring specification. This price of $52,995 on the road. As we see it here now, this is, I say, a high-spec car. Both the models will share the same power unit, which is a 71.4 kilowatt hour battery powered by two 80 kilowatt motors. So we've got 215 horsepower going to the wheels. It shares an all-wheel drive system that is also available in all our other Subaru models. So symmetrical all-wheel drive, which was first pioneered in 1972, so 50 years old this year. This car is an amalgamation of the best of Subaru. So we've got premium interior feel. I don't know if you can have a good look around in here.
Yeah, most definitely, I'd say. I mean, I've already had a bit of a play around in here already, and most certainly, definitely, it feels built to last as well, which you get from a Subaru.
Absolutely, Subaru's always built to last. So I mean, we've got 96% of our 10-year-old cars still on the road. No other manufacturer can boast that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if you can see the infotainment unit is all new for this vehicle, big, improved. The dashboard's all ergonomically styled. We've got good feel to everything. We've got everything sensible. Being Subaru, we've got touchscreen, but we've generally got the button system as well.
I love that. Honestly, I mean, the one thing I'll say that I don't like is having to go into the infotainment system just to change, you know, the temperature or turn on the heated seats. And it seems that you can do it here. So that is really good.
Subaru really does think about the customers that buy these cars. And so if you came and had a drive on these today, you might necessarily appreciate all the safety systems that are built into it. So we've got the patented Subaru eyesight system, which is forward thinking. It's looking at the road more than 100 metres in front of you, trying to prevent collisions ultimately, keeping you safe.
Excellent. So, a bit more about the car. So in terms of range?
So the range will be advertised between 250 and 290 miles, depending on the specification and depending on the actual model, because the entry-level model's got slightly smaller wheels. And this high-spec car we got in, it's got premium audio system by Harman Kardon. It's got a slightly bigger subwoofer in a boot, so we've got a slightly smaller boot and slightly reduced range.
Excellent. So, and in terms of availability, so when are we kind of expecting, I mean, in terms of orders, if you, for example, if I ordered one now, what would be expected?
So we as the dealership would get you a car within 3 months right now. The cars are available to buy. There are shipments coming in as we speak. The car will be released to the public within the next few weeks, and we're expecting our demonstrator vehicle within the next month.
Excellent. So, again, where are you from?
So we're from West Heath Garage. So we're in Farnborough, this is our hometown. We're at the British Motor Show for the next 3 days. So if you want to come down and visit us here, you're quite welcome. Similarly, if you want to come to the showroom after that period of time, we'll have vehicles you can come and look at soon.
Perfect. So I will leave a link in the description as well. So make sure you go check out West Heath Garage.
Thank you.
So I think that is pretty much it for the British Motor Show 2022. I'd like to give a special thanks to Snows Kia for showing me the brand new Niro EV. It looks really, really good. I'd like to also thank JLC Group for showing me some of their new bespoke electric vans that they are currently importing. And then finally, I'd like to give a special thanks to West Heath Garage Subaru for showcasing the brand new Subaru Solterra. Finally, I'd just like to say, please make sure you do like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, and make sure that you are subscribed and you hit that bell icon so you are notified of future videos. So, I think that is pretty much it. So, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.